Hey, here is how my experience has been going with getting insurance for my car in the United States as a non-citizen, just as a tourist. Before I left Denmark, I called a company called Progressive, which is a big insurance company in the United States, asking them how would I go about getting insurance, because I want to buy a car and drive around for a long period of time. They told me that, well, the agent that I spoke to told me that what you have to do is when you arrive in the United States, get the car, make sure you have an address. It could be an address at a friend's place, it could be an address, just a P.O. box that you go and make, and that should be it. Then you can get the insurance. You just have to call us, and in 10-15 minutes, your car will be insured. So I got over here, I bought the car down in San Diego. I called Progressive while being at the dealership, having all the papers, having everything from the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. So I called Progressive, and they said, you know, just send in the paperwork. I talked to the dealership, and he recommended that I got a insurance broker, a guy, insurance agent, a guy that would help me out with all the paperwork, because apparently it's not that easy. So I found a broker that he recommended, called Willie. Went to this guy, talked to him, and we filled out all the paperwork, sorted out, what type of insurance do I want, how well did I want to be covered, was it just liability, was it full coverage, was it medical coverage, all of those things. And if you go over here, I will recommend you to get full coverage of the car that you're going to be driving around, because if you are in an accident and it's your fault, you would have to pay out of your own pocket to the damages that you've done to somebody else's car, or other people. And the thing is, a lot of people drive really big, expensive cars over here, so you want to be well covered. So we put together an insurance that would cost me around $100 to $130 per month, which was, within my budget and very reasonable, I think. We sent in all the paperwork, and we got to a page. He was using this agent site where he could send in the insurance info through Progressive. So we got a reply back that it would take them 3 days to get me the insurance. So I started calling them. I got a hold of a supervisor at Progressive, explaining her the whole situation, explaining her that I've talked to them before I left, and she gave me some funny information that they could have given me before I left Denmark. She said, first of all, the car has to be in the address where you register it for 50% of the time that you own the car. If it's not at the address 50% of the time, your coverage won't be valid. So basically, Progressive can't insure tourists as they advertise with. I did my homework before I left Denmark. I read a lot of forums, I went on a lot of websites, I called Progressive, I spent 12 hours just researching insurance in the United States, and Progressive was what everybody was talking about. That is, they said, that's the way to go Progressive, because they will insure tourists. And all I'm going to say is, I'm going to use a British word, bollocks. They do not insure tourists. Don't waste your time contacting Progressive. They will not help you. They want you to have a permanent address. They want you to... Here's another thing. They asked me to provide proof of residency. I find that quite difficult, being a tourist, proving that I have like a electrical bill or a gas bill or some other bill. I could show them a cell phone bill, because I have a cell phone over here. But guess what? You can't use a cell phone bill. That one is excluded. So it was totally, completely not possible for me to get Progressive. So I took a chance. I went down to a company named State Farm, and man, am I happy I did that. I went into State Farm in San Diego. I talked to an agent named Martha. She was very welcoming. She was pleasant to talk with. We went over everything, and within 10-15 minutes, I had the insurance from State Farm, and I could start driving my car. So to every tourist out there that wants to do a road trip in the United States, go State Farm. I'm gonna post some links below here to State Farm, so you can easily get to their website and find the offices around the United States. So basically, how to get insurance in the United States. It's not the cheapest insurance, but I mean, you're a tourist, you're over here, you're not a resident, you can't get all the benefits. That's just how it is. My insurance is $200 per month, and that's really good coverage. That also has something to do with the amount of time that I've been driving. I haven't been driving or had a license for 3 years, and that means you have to pay more. If you can prove that you've had your driver's license for more than 3 years, the insurance is going to be less expensive. But yeah, the way to get insurance: get the car, get the DMV papers, everything from either the private person you're buying the car from, which I can't recommend because nobody wants you to have the car checked before you purchase it, and I wouldn't do that. So get all the papers, all the DMV papers from the dealership where you buy your pre-owned car, or if you have enough money, buy a brand new car. Go to the State Farm local insurance agent, talk to them, and they will help you get insurance. You get it just by providing a friend's address. I am sure you'll be able to do by a PO box, but they will send you some papers that you will have to go back and retrieve from that PO box. But I mean, I'm sure you could probably even use a motel or a hotel address, as long as you come back to retrieve the papers, because they will send you some papers that you need to bring along in your car. I believe the time limit was 60 days or something. So to everybody out there, if you want to get insurance for your car that you have bought in the United States and drive around, go State Farm. These guys were very pleasant, very, very good. So that's definitely my recommendation.